Hey y'all. So I just came across this post talking about generational curses, and it was basically saying how um, I am going to break generational curses, black generational curses. You know what I'm talking about? Getting put out at a certain age, being financially cut off, expecting the expecting the young adult who finally gets their first job to contribute to the household, not knowing how to be financially secure, not knowing about credit, and I had like a lot of additional things like um, what we eat and talking down on children, not being able to like ask questions or question authority and things like that. And I just wanted to speak on it because I feel like it's important for people to know exactly what generational curses are. And if you were raised Christian like I was, you read about the generational curses in the Bible, and it made it seem like something outside of us or the God outside of us cursed the family, things like that. Um, and to me, the Bible, I'm not going to say it's not a credible source because it can be. You just have to know how to read the Bible and how to decode it because it's really a puzzle when you're reading it, because some words may mean one thing in the English language, but in the Bible it means something totally different. Or just how everything is placed in it, how it's switched around, and how a lot of hands been in it. A lot of people remade the Bible. Not a lot of people know that those stories are from ancient Kemet, which is ancient Egypt. But that's neither here nor there. That's at another time. But what I want to speak about is the generational curses that we place amongst ourselves. It has nothing to do with anything outside of us. It's our lack of awareness. Um, and I'm sure a lot of people who walk this path are deemed as the black sheep because we are aware of a lot of things that our parents weren't, our grandparents weren't. A lot of us were raised as Christians, and coming up, I always had certain questions that I never really got the answers to. And once I finally got older, I started seeking answers, and I was really loud about it. I didn't have any shame. I wanted to know, why were we looked at as weak, or why we just took what was given to us without any additional questions or anything like that. And it's a lot of things that I can trace back to being taught. A lot of these things I was taught. Like when our children go to these public schools, the first thing that they learn about black people are us being slaves. And you might have a picture of King Tut in there, but it's not common knowledge that Egyptians or people from Kemet were black. And what is Kemet? Our children don't know anything about that, or they don't learn anything about that in school. So the first images that they see is black people with slaves, and even Native Americans, because a lot of us are mixed with Native Americans. And the first images that they see, Native Americans were killed and slaughtered. And that is common knowledge. None of this is hidden. It's right in the books, but it's like it's doctored up to make it look like some beautiful little fairy tale, like watching Pocahontas. You know what I'm saying? And while all of these things are common knowledge, it's still accepted. A lot of the things that come after that aren't questioned. No one's questioning, well, what were we doing before we were slaves? No one's asking that question. At least I know people in my immediate family didn't. because I never gave it much thought until I got a little bit older, until I was able to actually think for myself, things like that. So the topic is generational curses, and they're passed down from generation to generation from slavery, because how we were taught to view ourselves, and not to question authority, and to just accept what was given to us. It really all starts with having awareness of yourself and having awareness of your sources, where you're getting your information from. Because in my mind, I'm thinking once someone gets a hold of certain information, they can kind of build off of that. But even that given to certain individuals is not any. It can't really help the situation, because a lot of our people in older generations are stuck in their ways, and it's really nothing that we could do to help that. So where I kind of messed up was trying to include, people that are older than me in my family, trying to include them in what I had going on, but in their mind, everything that they know is right, everything that they think is right, and bringing it to their attention, it just didn't work well for me. It caused me to be very resentful because it wasn't received well. It was received as I was blaming them for me fucking up. Sorry, excuse my language, and that's really not the case. When I bring things up and when I speak about it, it's only to make people aware of it. And when I grew up, when I was 18, I didn't know anything about credit. I didn't know how to buy a house, how to rent a house or apartment, how to buy a car, or how to start a business, or even that it was okay for me to start a business. Because, there were plenty of times where I needed to expand, and I felt like I was held back by the mindset of the people around me. And that was, I'm not blaming them, because it had a lot to do with my mindset at the time too. I'm an individual. I should have known certain things. I just didn't pick up on a lot. And given that mindset of 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, that's how you're going to make your money. You don't need to go to school right now. You got to take care of these kids. Because I had my children at a young age, and I'm not going to say I didn't receive support from my family. I did. It just wasn't the support that I asked them for. They were very fine watching my children when I went to go work at a grocery store, but when I wanted to go to school, they wasn't supporting that, because I had to go make money. And in my mind, I'm like, well, if I could just go to school for what I want, I can make more money when I'm done. But it was a lost cause at that point. But what I'm saying is, you have to dig down into the roots of a situation, ask questions, become more aware in order to break generational curses. You have to, question everything that you were taught. Try to make sense of it. It's common knowledge. It's common knowledge that the Europeans came over and slaughtered, raped, enslaved the Native Americans. It's common knowledge that Europeans went to Africa. So, I wasn't there. I don't know, but that's what the stories is being told to us. They went to Africa. They got Africans, put them on a ship, brought them to America, and the Africans built America. Common knowledge. And that's widely accepted even by African American people and African American. I say that because that's what you guys identify with. And it's common knowledge. And my thing is, it all starts with what you hold dear to your heart too. The same people that did all that also turned around and gave you a Bible, and they said, this is your God, and they showed you a Caucasian man with blue eyes and blonde hair and said, this is the man responsible for giving you life. in human form. And but and it's just like, okay, you know, even with you having knowledge of the past situations that led up to where we are now, you know all of that, and yet and still no one is asking where this Bible came from, because within that same Bible it's telling you not to question nothing, and you do it out of fear of being killed. And that's fucked up. Excuse my French. Again. You know what I'm saying? I just, what I don't want to do is live in fear of being killed. I know one day I'll die, you know, and I just don't think it's okay for someone or a God that brought me here threaten my life with every little thing that I do when I know I'm not perfect. And that don't make sense to me. And it also doesn't make sense for me not to be able to question my reality without fear of disobeying my authority. So in order to break generational curses, in my perspective, is to question things and to get down to the roots. The roots are very important because they tell you a lot about your current situation. That's where a lot of the things that you do come from, you know, and it can be a great thing if you reach back and get, you know, into your roots and figure out where or how, you know, if you feel like you're from Africa, yeah, or if you feel like you're Native American or wherever, how did they live before all of that? Implement that into your lifestyle. Or figuring out where things went wrong, you know, digging deep into your roots to figure out why you are the way you are and how you can fix it, you know, and also learning your children, because they are really the ones that we have to pass this on to. And when we are too old to do anything, these are the little people that we're going to depend on. And these people need to know how to be self-sufficient and all of that so they can take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cycle. You know, you have to program your children, because either you doing it or somebody else doing it. And I'll make another video based off of my my thoughts on the relation of children brains and brand new computers. I mean, you get a new computer, you program it to do what you want it to do. You get a new child, you program it to do what you want it to do. And if you're not doing it, somebody else is doing it. So it's important for you to know how to do it. Okay, so that's my TED Talk for today. Yeah, I hope y'all having a great night. I know we in quarantine, but make sure y'all keep y'all spirits up, dance, laugh, do what you do to make yourself feel good. Okay, I love y'all. Peace.